What is going on, Tim?
Nothing, man.
We're on the line.
Yeah, we're just. I'm on the line right now, and I'm just hoping for a W this week.
Or, what is going on, Tim?
Nothing, man. Or I might get on the tanking bandwagon. Yeah, we're just everybody else. I'm on the line right now, and I'm just hoping for a W this week.
0-4 is not a good one.
Or,
what is going on, Tim?
No. Quarter of the season. Or I might get on the tanking. We haven't got a bandwagon. Yeah, we're just literally. Was there 3 teams that are 0-4? I'm just hoping for a W this week.
0-4 is not a good one. 4 teams are what is going on?
Oh, Cleveland Chargers, quarter of the season. Or I might get on the tanking. We haven't got a bandwagon. Yeah, we're just literally. Was there 3 teams that are 0-4? I'm just hoping for a W this week.
0-4 is not a good one. 4 teams are what is going on?
Oh, Cleveland Chargers, quarter of the season. Or I might get on the tanking. We haven't got a bandwagon. Yeah, we're just literally. Was there 3 teams that are 0-4? I'm just hoping for a W this week.
0-4 is not a good one.
Welcome to the Bleedbigblue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW. Welcome to the Bleedbigblue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW. Welcome to the Bleedbigblue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW. Welcome to the Bleedbigblue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW. Welcome to the Bleedbigblue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW. Welcome to the Bleedbigblue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW. Welcome to the Bleedbigblue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts.
Very moment, 2-man show.
Yeah, we have our diva hosts that show up when they feel like it. I'm sure they're probably listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really hoping Justin would be on this week because I wanted to talk a little fantasy football, talking shit, and it's no fun because he doesn't talk anything back. I've been trying to egg it on. I've been trying to egg it on.
Has it been going
Is he
well?
on?
No.
No, it has not gone well. You know what? He has not responded back. I think he's gotten used to ignoring us in the chat. So he.
Yeah, it's been pretty in our league. I am doing fabulously well.
Yeah, you're scoring a lot of points. Actually, you're just losing every week.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I am scoring.
And I just the guy we made fun of the most, the intern, is actually doing pretty well. The league's upside down right now. Other than I am still king of the mountain, and still the only team undefeated. And I'm starting to take shots at everybody, not just not just co-hosts. And anybody who's actually in the fantasy show that's actually listening, I don't know if we're streaming or not now, but
I think we're.
Okay. I will be talking shit to you every time I play you, especially as long as I stay undefeated, I'm going to be ruthless. will be.
I think we're.
I feel like the opposite of the Giants. I will be talking shit to you every time I play you, especially as long as I stay undefeated. And did you see pretty much the articles everybody was putting out about Vernon Hargreaves talking to Odell Beckham?
They knew all the things that were going to happen before they even happened.
Exactly.
That they won.
Yes.
They run.
I thought Ben McAdoo was supposed to be an offensive genius. And pretty much everybody just keeps saying he's running the same offense he did in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's the problem. Is we're running an offense that's predictable. And I know what Odell said. Odell's like, I don't care if you know I'm running a slant. I'm going to run a slant, go ahead and try to stop me. Well, you know what? Why do we have to have our players work harder? How about us being a little less predictable to where the defense doesn't know exactly what we're going to do?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Huh?
That one,
was
and
that?
there was another. There's another one that was got like Brandon Marshall around. What Brandon Marshall doing? Skipping.
Yeah, Brandon Marshall
jumping.
His, I thought, yeah, Brandon Marshall taking all his, taking his blame. I saw that. Good, good for him. But, the big question is, do you think there's a win's going to happen this week?
I think if you don't beat Los Angeles, the Chargers. There's no way they can't beat them. What was just the talent alone on the team? I keep on looking at it. I'm shocked we're 0-4.
The first two games we got beat.
Yeah.
The last two games we beat ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, as much as I love this defense, one, they're not getting turnovers. What do we have, like 1, 2 on the season? But the other problem with the defense is, what the hell happened to the tackling? And we can't make stops. Literally at the end of these past two games, it's literally on the defense. Just stop the team one time and we win.
Yeah.
And they can't do it.
I mean, Philly.
As much as I get mad at Eli Apple for the Philly play, which it was still ridiculous that he hit a 61-yard field goal to beat us. But it's still, you know what? Why are you giving this much cushion? It just a lot of stuff's not making sense. Or not, playing the sidelines.
Yeah, I was originally on like the ledge, like 0-4. This is the worst, but technically, yes, one team went 4 and they made the playoffs, and they actually got a playoff win. And that's the then San Diego Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there have been teams that have been under 8, 7, and 9 that have went to the playoffs and did pretty well. I think the Seahawks definitely come to mind. There's been a few. So, crazy shit can happen. Do we want to be in a position where we're saying crazy shit's going to happen? No, but that's where we are now. I'm
with you.
I am underwhelmed with Magoo. I'm not going to lie. And I see a bunch of comments on YouTube, Fire Mag. too. And I see a bunch of comments on Facebook saying the same thing.
I'm not the year in the fire McAdoo, but I'm getting there. And it's not only it's not only the play calling.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only the scheme. It's the talent evaluation. But it's also the fact that it doesn't seem like he's inspiring these guys at all. Like,
no, like
these guys,
flat, right?
We've had a slow start every game.
Yeah.
Every game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's on the coaching. As in, like, no one's getting excited to go out and play. It's not acceptable. And the funny thing is, you know what? Actually, these past two games, I think I've seen Eli actually start showing emotion.
After the run?
After the run. But if you watch Eli, it's getting to the point where it's almost scares me because Eli is so excited when we score touchdowns that he's actually showing emotion after we score because it never happens.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
It's like a new thing to him.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, oh my God, we scored. Like they won a championship.
Mm-hmm.
The nice part is, or I guess the lucky part is, the rest of the division is not looking great. Yes, Philly's 3-1, but we should have beat Philly, and we have to play Philly again. And I don't think Philly's good enough to keep up this kind of pace.
We play Washington.
Yep, so they play
the Cowboys again.
Yep. The other thing being the rest of the NFC is not really playing well. Right now, the Rams are winning their division. Detroit's winning their division, I think. Pretty sure Detroit's winning.
The Vikings beat them, though, right?
Huh?
I think the Vikings beat them, right?
I'm trying to think of the records right now. Isn't Detroit 3-1 or are they 2-2?
I think they. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyone in the comment sections that knows how to use the Google? Let us know.
Yeah, we know you're on the line. Just look it up. I don't feel like doing it. But the point being, no one's running away with that NFC. There's no one undefeated, right?
Put my mic on!
What's going on?
Good evening, gentlemen.
What's up?
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I've been on hiatus. I sound terrible. Oh, my God. The bad guy's back.
Yeah, and the bad guys are back. We got one of them at least.
Big Sexy's here.
Yeah, the faces have been taking over the show.
The inmates are running the inmates are running the asylum, as they say, Timmy.
Yeah. And I think you.
Hold on,
and I'm not going to say this now. I think you really didn't want to be on the show last week because I beat you in fantasy.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Timmy, you're like a Cowboys fan. I'm 4-0 in my money league, and I haven't talked trash to anybody. You're celebrating so early. Jesus. Have you never won a championship before?
Yeah. I have one.
Would this be your first time?
So you're saying I'm going to win the championship? I appreciate that.
No, I'm asking, like, would this be your first time if you won it? Because to be excited over 4-0 in fantasy football is silly.
Well, technically, I won my my camp fantasy football league.
All right, there you go. Fucking guy.
You know what? It's more fun when people are talking shit. And
0-4.
It's not
That's
just
the only
you. I mean,
number
you know what?
really...
It was originally just going to be you. I was going to talk shit to all season. I've decided I'm going to talk shit to everybody.
You might as well have a little fun with it.
I'm attacking everybody every week now. I've already decided, and I also think that's why Justin's not on the show right now. Because I've been trying to start with him all week.
I'm willing. By the way, I'm willing to trade everyone. I have just put that. I'm going to put everybody on the trading block. I'm willing to make some deals in this league. Yeah, you're my son, buddy.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay,
Justin, I've been
here.
Trying...
I'm right here. I've been a little busy this week. I've been a little busy this week at my employer because I'm going down to Houston Friday morning for a week. So, I'm having to put in like 14 hours a day just to be able to go. But
Yikes.
I will say that I'm highly confident in my ability to take down the King. As long as my quarterback doesn't get suspended for sexist comments.
We all remember what happened to King Joffrey, right? Let's just put that out there.
Right.
And you know what? I was literally going to put Joffrey as my little picture.
Yeah.
Shame.
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 Shame. Mm-hmm.
You know what else is a shame?
This is how I'm running the kingdom.
You know what
0-4 is a shame.
0-4.
It's a shame.
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 Yeah. McAdoo. Shame.
Shame.
Reese. Shame.
All right,
Everyone. Shame.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue as I see it. It's
pick a spot. Pick a card, any card. It's a whole bunch of thing. It's a whole bunch of shit.
I don't want to make this sound more gloomy than it probably should, but I believe that this is factually accurate. Jerry Reese has made major mistakes in a few areas, and they're all coming back to bite him in the ass. Every last one of them.
I don't agree. I'm not saying Jerry definitely could have helped out on the offensive line a lot better than he had.
Let me continue because I have a list.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a list.
Go through your list. I apologize. I didn't want to cut it off.
I can't wait. I want to hear the list.
Number one.
Go.
Starting at a macro level, and please let me list. I have three.
Go ahead. Go. I'm not going to say a word. I'm not even going to. I'm going to sit here and medicate myself. Go.
Number one, the hiring of Ben McAdoo. Now, I will say to you that I believe that Ben McAdoo was brought on as head coach at the strong advisement of Elisha Manning because Eli probably didn't want to learn a brand new offense with a new head coach. And so Ben McAdoo probably got Eli's stamp of approval, which carried a lot of weight at the time that they were looking for a new head coach. But Jerry Reese is the person who is responsible for that decision, and he has to have enough foresight to have seen the fact that Ben McAdoo is clearly in over his head. If you fail to take points on 2 consecutive weeks, that's a you problem. And it's being a stubborn jackass.
It screams desperate. It screams desperate.
Right.
the wrong message to the team. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Second major issue is that the failure to address the offensive line. He doubled down on these guys that he believed in, and at some point he's got to be held accountable for that error in judgment. Now, I will say that the offensive line has played better over the last 2 weeks, but that's only because they've changed the offense so that Eli has to get the ball out before anybody can get 30 yards down the field. Now, the problem with that is...
Let me just throw this in there. I got to throw this in there. Maybe if they would have changed the offense in fucking training camp 2 weeks earlier before Dallas, they would have fucking been able to beat Dallas or Detroit, because the offense for the last 2 games looks light years ahead of where they were.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go.
Right. I agree with you. Absolutely. Point 3 is the ability to evaluate exiting talent. This defensive line misses Jonathan Hankins.
I'm so happy you brought that up.
Hold on.
100%.
Hold on.
So happy you brought that up.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. But I was,
Incorrect.
unlike James, I was going to be quiet until this was done.
No,
I will give him no.
Where are teams running the ball?
They're running it
They're
to
not
the
running the
outside.
ball at snacks.
Justin, I gotta be honest. Justin, I gotta be honest with you. I'm right in line with your list. But I was thinking today, because I actually got a chance to do a Jimmy on the Street again and speak to Dan Duggan. So I was trying to come up. We got a bunch of questions. You guys gave me some questions. Some other people gave me some questions. And around 2 or 3 of the questions I got were about Hankins. So, and I was curious as well, because it's frustrating that for 2 weeks we were killing this team about the offense, and now it looks like the offense is competent, and now the defense doesn't know what the hell they're doing. So I'm trying to say, where is this hole that all of a sudden now these teams are able to run the ball? Goodson is an upgrade at linebacker. Everybody says it. It's obvious on the field. Where's the hole? And so I went with the Hankins question, and his answer really surprised me. And after his answer, I'm leaning to what he said. I don't really think that it is Hankins. I don't think that it is. I think that it comes down to just really poor execution and play on the players that are in the game right now.
I agree.
Porous. Porous.
If they could tackle, there'd be no running game.
If somebody wraps up,
the guys are there. They're just not wrapping up.
They're in position. They just can't they can't finish a play.
Yep.
Our defensive backs, all of them, are more concerned about dropping a shoulder and laying the boom than wrapping up.
One thing I will say is it was nice to see, and if anyone else noticed, Adams played a lot more in this game at safety. His snaps went up a bit. They played Burr a little bit more, but Adams really was the beneficiary of more playing time over Thompson. Thompson is frustrating because the kid seems like he's in position, and he just can't finish. And last year, Adams played well. He was part of a really good defense. So maybe Adams, but I think it comes down to better play on the defensive line and the linebacker. I mean, guys just have to play better. They're just not doing their job right now. They're just
All right,
not.
let's get to
Even Landon, even you could look at Landon Collins, right? For as great as a player he is, in a money situation, he gets beat by Cameron Brate, game over.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not taking a shot at Collins because the guy makes a million. The guy makes a million plays, and he's a great player, and he's only going to get better. But he got beat.
All right, hold on. Ready? Hey, what's up, caller?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Philip. I'm actually calling in from Ohio.
What's up, Philip? Ohio.
Yeah, I know. Foreign land where. Oh my God, you do not understand the culture here. Oh God, that is a God. Oh my God. You will get yelled at if you do not respond with IO. You will get yelled at.
IO.
It is a cult here.
Yeah, it's a cult. I love it. That's great.
Well, what do you want to bring up? What do you want to talk about?
What I wanted to call in, which I didn't get to call in, I missed you guys last week, was I was kind of hoping to talk about Brad Wing, because I have a bit of anecdotal experience, and I think what you're seeing from Brad Wing, based on everything I've seen, is that he is in a rut. And what I mean by that, like, I do not think that he is a bad punter, and I think just based on everything, based on his performance last season, I think it's fair to say that he might even be a great punter. But what I'm seeing out of Brad Wing right now is someone who has lost their confidence, and I think the question is why, and can it come back? I feel like it's less of a it's a mentality that he's in, because I mean, yes, it is completely separate, but I used to play goalkeeper in soccer, and I know when you're punting any type of ball, like even the slightest mistake in your technique can completely screw up the punt. You have to be very focused and very precise on that part.
Definitely.
It's something's up with his mentality, and it could be completely unrelated to football, but I think the Giants need to look into it, and honestly, I feel like if they determine that it cannot be resolved, you need to have tryouts for a new punter, because it's something where that mindset, until you're free of it, it's going to come back. It's going to haunt you. And until you can get over what's bothering you, it's really hard to go out and play well consistently.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, but to me, I mean, I don't think that he's really been that bad except for the clutch kicks.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so I think that it may be like he's just choking. Like maybe he's just thinking a little bit about too much on those pressure kicks, because I haven't seen a real a drop in his play. Has he done anything spectacular, pinning people back or anything like that? No, not really. I haven't seen anything like that. He really hasn't been in position to. But on the money kicks where you need him to, even if you're supposed to kick it to the left and the ball gets centered a little bit, but distance, get the ball down the field, because in those two situations, field position was so key at that point in the game. So my concern now is not really maybe the first three quarters, but in a situation where, there's not a lot of time left in the game and you can't convert on a third down and you need a punt, and the other team maybe they've wasted their timeouts, and, there's maybe 45 seconds left, and the difference between going 70 yards and having to go, 50 yards, huge difference in that situation. It's going to concern me when he kicks in money time in the fourth quarter. And I don't know what the problem is. It seems like there's problems all over the roster. Even Rojas. I mean, there's problems all over the place. It's ugly.
Yeah,
Kickers have.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that kickers have one job. They have one job.
Make the fucking kick.
Do your job.
Their errors are magnified because they're only on the field maybe 6-7 plays a game, right?
Bingo.
Yep.
But
Bingo bango.
With Brad Wing specifically, I mean, he's got to figure it out.
Maybe he should cut his hair. Maybe he's all Zoolandered out.
Those two kicks are a large reason why the Eagles and the Bucks were even in position to go on those drives. Right?
You're right. And that's 100%.
Okay,
Bingo.
no, I'll agree with you on the Bucks one. I disagree with you on the Eagles. I think there were so many more, like, just stupid shit that resulted in
No, I agree with you. There were other mistakes.
Stuff.
But in the Bucks game, we tripped over ourselves in the Bucks game. We shot ourselves in the foot so many times in the Bucks game, just like in Philly. It's a calamity. It's a circus. It's a calamity of errors right now. It's ugly in all three facets. They are failing.
It comes down to, guys, honestly, just if Giants get a win, a lot of this stuff, everybody's confidence starts coming back. It's just getting compiled with every loss, and people are starting getting in their heads. We just need some good stuff to actually happen, and we can actually start moving forward.
Here's the thing, though, Tim. Here's the thing, though, dude. Is like, and I get it, right? So I'm of the same mind. Where if you can get 3 or 4 wins in a row now, and all of a sudden by midseason you're sitting here at 4-4, 3-5, and you're a game and 2 back. You've got everybody late in the season in the division again. So you're not seeing the 3 teams that are going to be. You got them late in the year. So a lot of things can change between now and then. My concern is this: tough 3 or 4 games coming up. Tough, and you've left yourself no room for error, right?
There's
so you
no
put yourself where.
Very true.
If you could have found your way to 2-2 at this point, then playing Denver and losing that game really isn't, you can live with that. But even if we win this week and you look over the next 2 or 3 weeks, if they don't string together some wins now, c'est la vie, the hole's going to be too big to come back. You're going to be looking at the same situation a couple of years ago when they were 1-6 and they had to win 5 in a row. It's too hard. You can't do it. That's why it's only been done once.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I think.
Go ahead, Philip. Go ahead.
I just think one thing that I would point out is that I was looking at the Giants' Twitter account earlier today, and I saw they had on the injury report for the did not practice and limited practice. Did not practice Jenkins, Pierre-Paul, Richburg, and Vernon. Limited Beckham, Darkwa, Marshall, and Perkins. So not only have you left yourself no room, but you've now got some of your best players that aren't practicing or limited practicing. And I just have to ask if there's I think it's I think there should be some real serious talk of if Denver, if we lose this upcoming game, and if at 0-5, is there a real serious question of should we just tank? Yep, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say at 0-5. 0-5 is where I say bring up the question. I don't say go ahead and do it, but I think 0-5 is when you bring up the question.
Here's the thing. That's an ugly term, right? And I'm not taking a shot at you with the whole tank thing because everybody says it, right? But let's say, look at the Jets, right? Perfect situation, right? So you look at the Jets, and all their fans are saying tank. The way the Jets are looking at it, and the way Todd Bowles is looking at it, as look at these young kids that I have. I have to find myself a quarterback. That's fine, but I have time to do that. Look at the young kids that I have on this roster. Look at the talent that I have to grow on this roster. So when you get in game situations, these guys aren't thinking about tanking. These guys are trying. The business is so cold. You think these players on the field are trying to lose the game because they're worried about where the fucking team is going to pick the guy to replace their ass? It's ridiculous. It doesn't happen. In basketball, maybe you can make the case that sometimes it does with bench players. In football, these kids, they're playing hard. These guys are playing hard. There's pride on the line. They're competing to win the game. Now, if you want to look at it as from a Giants perspective, and I spoke about this with Duggan as well, because he wrote an interesting article today about potentially letting Brandon Marshall go if this thing takes a wrong turn. There's two ways to look at it, right? You could say to yourself, okay, well, we're 0-5, we're 0-6. This sucked. We're going to cut Brandon Marshall. We'll eat the $1 million of dead money, and now we're going to look at some young players. And you know what? Flowers, get to the fucking bench because now I'm going to look at Wheeler at left tackle. And you know what? Sit the fuck down, and I'm going to look at these young players, and I'm going to sit. Now, if you lose games that way, fine. It helps your draft position. But you can't tell me as a fan that if the Giants decided to go that way, if they're in a situation where some of these young kids are playing and these kids are playing and competing and playing well, then in a game situation, you're going to be sitting there rooting for them to fail. I wouldn't root for them to fail. I can't do it.
No, I would never root for the Giants to fail. What I think there should be a question of is, first and foremost,
do you go to the young kids?
Do you just, if this starts going to shit, say, yes, all right, our starters can maybe take it easy and we're going to let the young guys get more experience in.
Yeah, maybe JPP and Olivier Vernon don't play 76 snaps. Maybe they play 55, and you look at some of the younger kids that are coming up on the defensive line. You give some kids some opportunities to play. 100% agree with you there. I
take it a step further, and I say this.
You want Webb, don't you? You want the web slinger, Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
No. Don't ruin Eli's record. Don't ruin Eli's record. No. Let Eli get the record.
So hold on now. Wait a minute. Dude, hold on. I got to say something because I was going to bring that up later, and I'm glad you brought that up because this is a very difficult. It's a fucking difficult situation, and Giant fans are going to really have to swallow their shit and just put their panties on and relax. When it comes to this franchise, there's going to be a very difficult situation if this team gets to, let's say, 3-10, because if this team is failing that bad, then I want to see what Davis Webb can do. And
that's what she said.
As a franchise, that's right. He's 6'5", so he's got that going for him, right? Because if you're worried about the franchise, there you go. You just slip it right in. You either slip it into Beckham, or you slip it into her.
Well,
so if you're the franchise, are you worried about Eli's record? Or are you worried about the next 6-7 years?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the phrasing of the record is starting games. So
yeah, but I'm not messing with no. But if I'm doing it, I'm doing it. I'm not going to start Eli and bring Davis Webb in the second quarter.
You could start Eli for one play just to get him
dude.
like
that's a gimmick.
in his
record.
Eli.
Oh my God!
You're insulting your quarterback at that point. Yeah,
I never said
take
that.
a snap. Take a snap.
And all the people that are like, we're not benching Eli. Let Davis Webb groom for the year. He's not ready, and honestly, he's not even a number 2. Let him. Chill.
Tim, I got news for you. Tim.
Yeah.
The way that they're throwing these fucking rookie quarterbacks in, if the season is shot, I want to see him. It's not like he was a 7th round pick. He was a 3rd round pick.
I agree.
Oh my God!
So you invested a 3rd round pick in this kid. If I'm a franchise right now and I'm ownership, and I'm looking at the situation, am I worried about the past or am I worried about the future? And if I'm going to clean house, okay, maybe I want my new GM to see the kid that we picked in the 3rd round to see if he thinks that kid has talent or if we need to go in another direction.
I'm going to tell you right now, and Giants fans aren't going to like this. And it's a big if. Let's say we're in the top 10 of the draft, hopefully not higher than that. We're probably going to take a quarterback.
No. Hold on.
Barkley. No, he knows I'm running. Because Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold,
that's not going to happen.
All these guys are coming out. Even Lamar Jackson, even though I don't think he's going to be a good pro. These guys are going to come out and just watch.
You take the kid from Penn State. That's who you take.
Yeah.
Go get that kid.
I would agree with you. I would agree with you.
Here's the thing.
You sell your soul to the devil to get Barkley.
If they take another quarterback, in the first 2 rounds of next year's draft, then I would have to say that you're probably looking at a scenario where Ben McAdoo is not the head coach. Because
I agree with that.
I spoke about this with Duggan as well, dude. I got a hard time after speaking to him. I got a hard because I asked him. I said, "Are these guys tied together? Is Reese's is his seat on fire, right? Or and if they said Reese is going to go, is Reese and McAdoo tied together, or was McAdoo chosen from high above?" And I got a hard time thinking that McAdoo's going anywhere after 2 years. Reese maybe, McAdoo I don't think so, which is odd. Which is odd because if you're gonna bring in a new GM, usually you let them bring in a coach.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're not going to fire McAdoo, and as much as that would piss me off to high heaven, if we had a 3-13 season and McAdoo came back, if you're not going to fire him, then drafting quarterback right now and keeping McAdoo doesn't make sense. Because if McAdoo has another bad season and he's gone anyway, chances are the new guy that we're bringing in that quarterback that they pick may not fit whatever new system we're running. So,
McAdoo's here, guys. McAdoo's here for the next 2 or 3 years. He's not going anywhere.
McAdoo's guy.
Yeah.
Once McAdoo leaves, then we bring in another quarterback. But as long as McAdoo's here, Davis Webb is the heir apparent. And if they waste another premium pick on a quarterback when they already took one, then they should all be drawing
crippling your franchise. Yep.
Yeah, from the reports I heard from the draft, McAdoo was salivating over Webb and actually wanted him in the 2nd round. So, yeah, I know. So I think it's this is a case where you go for Barkley or if you're too high to get Barkley, then you pray that there is an apparently like a really obviously good offensive lineman somewhere a little bit farther down. You trade down, you pick up some extra picks, and you grab the O lineman.
Now, there is a couple of good offensive linemen coming in this draft. The left tackle from Notre Dame is the one I want if Giants are up there. I think it's McGinty or something like that. But that's the guy
from Notre Dame.
Yes, the left tackle from Notre Dame.
All right. Do you guys want to get to the interview?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
All right,
Might as
I'll
well
see
get that.
Just squeeze that in there. Should we slip it in?
Slip it in there.
And first of all, Marco, the comments are on fire on Facebook, huh?
I have one thing that I want to talk about before we get to the interview.
Let's do the comments first. What are people saying?
All right. So, Derek Torres, McAdoo needs to go, period. Giants have the same exact mistake offensively for 3 seasons in a row. He's in over his head.
Yes, I agree
James
with that.
Michael, how are you going to fire Reese? He's been great with the draft picks.
Honestly, I think McAdoo goes before Reese does.
A few.
Oh, I think you're crazy.
We got a fuck
McAdoo
OBJ
takes
out there.
2 games to make adjustments. But go ahead. Sorry.
Well, McAdoo's definitely over his head, but I mean, they wanted McAdoo for a reason, bro. I don't know why. I said it at the time when they hired McAdoo, dude. I fucking said it. I said if they hired McAdoo solely based on what Eli wanted, they made a huge goddamn mistake. A huge goddamn mistake.
Philly wanted him as well.
No,
who gives
they
a
absolutely
shit?
did not.
Who gives a shit what Philly wanted?
They wanted us to think that they did, but they didn't. If they wanted him, they would have hired him.
We didn't allow him to interview.
I think honestly, if they did this, if they just said McAdoo's our guy, if they sat down with Eli and he was like, yeah, I want it to be McAdoo, and they said, okay, you're going to do that, then that's a huge fucking mistake. Huge mistake.
But I want to ask you guys this question. Let me ask you this question. Who is being held accountable for the fact that egregious mental errors are happening by multiple players every week? It's not – you can't even say it's one guy that's making repetitive mental errors. The punter is fucking up.
It's a clusterfuck.
The quarterback –
Marco, do we have circus music?
Quarterback is calling a timeout for a 2-point conversion. I lost my shit when Eli called the timeout before the 2-point conversion.
Yeah,
and the
I
people
blew
that
a
I
gasket.
was watching the game with was why. And I said, because we're going to need those timeouts when Tampa Bay drives down the field to score.
Yep.
That's a waste of a fucking timeout.
Yep.
The sad part is, as good as our defense is, you knew they would drive down.
Because our defense isn't good this year.
They're not good. They're not good.
They're not tackling. They can't tackle.
They suck.
Hold up. I want to go back to the whole Hankins. Hankins isn't lighting it up in Indy as we speak now.
I agree with you with that.
No, but I don't think.
And
I think Hankins.
A majority of the runs that we're giving up aren't they're not to the inside. These are guys that are bouncing out, going past OV and JPP and getting to the second and third line of the defense. And we're not tackling them late. And JPP and OV, why are they playing like 98% of the snaps?
They're just completely wearing them down.
We can run in.
They're completely wearing those guys down again.
Especially the first 2 games where we had like possession of ball was like 13 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that we brought in all these defensive ends just so we can play Vernon and JPP the whole damn time. Makes no sense.
Not only play Vernon and JPP the whole time, but play Vernon when he's clearly hurt.
Yeah. Clearly hurt.
He's been hurt for a game and a half.
And you tip your hat to the guy for wanting to play, but I mean, if he's But
we're talking about a team that in week 2 decided to bring Odell Beckham back to play him 8 plays, the most important 8 plays that mattered. And you're telling me that we can't find a backup defensive end to give Vernon a break when he's on a fucking ruptured ankle? I mean, he's walking the way that I walk. For those that don't know, I use a wheelchair.
Jesus.
Odell, what's with you, Odell?
We need to cut that as sound, by the way.
We'll search for it. All right, let's get to the interview. So this is Jimmy on the Street talking to Daniel.
Another episode of Jimmy on the Street.
Oh, I never saw that before. We got a call from Anonymous. This one should be fun. Are you ready for this guy?
Oh, you gotta let that in.
Do that.
Oh, it says Anonymous.
Yeah, bring that on. Yeah, let's hope it's another racist person.
Yeah.
I know, right? Hey, what's up, Anonymous? How are you?
Hey, yeah, sorry about that. Actually, my dog broke my phone, so I'm calling from my computer. That's why it's coming up like that. But anyway, I wanted to call in because I was actually down in Tampa Bay for that game, and I was wondering what you guys thought about the defense this year because we all knew the offensive line was gonna suck. Flowers, terrible. Doesn't even really an NFL player. Whoever's back of it can't be worse. I don't know whether to give that guy a shot. Plus, other than Pugh, the offensive line hasn't really looked halfway decent. But my main reason I'm calling is because of the defense. What the fuck is up with the defense this year? 27 Thomas, tackle at all. The Eagles game, he missed so many tackles. He missed a few tackles in that Bucs game too. I mean, outside of Collins, our secondary can't tackle worth shit. And Clamart with his fucking shoulder tackles. What the hell is that shit? He can't wrap nobody up. Eli Apple, he has tackling issues too. And Collins, yeah, he plays a lot like a middle linebacker in every sense because he's a big hitter, but for whatever reason, I don't know what the reason is, but this year he's not really working out where he's getting the turnovers like he did last year, which really turned some games around with that Rams game that's essentially sticks in my mind from last year. But there are other games where he had a few big turnovers that really could have changed the course of the game. That's not happening this year.
No.
And I was gonna say something else. What else was I gonna say? Collins, he has as far as coverage wise, he plays one of the middle linebacker because he has trouble recovering as far as dropping back into coverage, cover plays. He's really the strength of his game is really they attack him like a linebacker mentality more than a secondary. I mean, he's a strong safety. He's a big guy. But that's the strength is the attacking, not the dropping back in the pass coverage. So I just wonder what you guys thought was up with his defense.
Well,
go
ahead, Tim.
No,
okay.
Go ahead, guys. Shoot.
All right, I'll go. Well, first of all, as far as Collins, he's a box safety. We all knew that going in. Now, he was never the greatest, known for the greatest coverage safety ever. He played great last year.
Phenomenal.
Obviously he's made some mistakes this past game. But as far as the overall defense, first of all, it's tackling. I don't know what happened in these past 2 games. I don't know if they're just tired and just sick of the offense being out there for 30 seconds. They got to go back out there. But the first 2 games, they played great. These past 2 games, they played horrible. It looks like we're going to hit with a shoulder. We're not going to wrap up. Let's take some advice from my mom when I was like 16. Wrap it up.
They seem to have played better in 2 weeks when our offense was playing like
I'll just
crippled.
slip it in.
Yeah.
They honestly, the last 2 weeks, the offense has actually moved the ball, and the time of possession has been a lot better. The time of possession in Tampa Bay was ridiculously in our favor, and they still couldn't make a friggin' play. So I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. The talent seems like it's there. It's the same guys. It's just the execution is porous, and guys need to play better.
Not only the execution, but I think that strategically, there's some strategic moves on defense that have me asking some questions. So, whosever idea it was to put Eli Apple on Mike Evans in a clutch situation, if you're not going to put Janoris Jenkins on Mike Evans in the red zone, then why did we pay Janoris Jenkins $85 million? Janoris Jenkins is our best corner. He can routinely shut down the other team's best receiver. I would have put him on Mike Evans the whole game.
And which he did. As soon as Janoris Jenkins went on Mike Evans, he shut him down. I think he had like 1 or 2 catches after that.
But in the red zone,
yeah,
when I saw Eli Apple on Mike Evans in the red zone, I said that's where the ball's going, and he's going to score.
Mm-hmm. So on WFAN,
what are we doing?
Paul Dottino was on. Paul Dottino was on FAN earlier that day, and he was saying that the Giants may choose to have a strategy where in certain situations, Jenkins is one-on-one with Deshaun Jackson, and they're going to double team Mike Evans. And to me, I said, that's horrible. I said, that's a horrible idea. And if you're going to do it in certain situations, to me, the red zone is not the situation that you would do that in. Like, because the field's a lot shorter, and you could eliminate the safety by just giving a certain look. I mean, you can get a back shoulder throw to where loft it up, and the safety it can't get there. You just take the snap, you take a step, and you throw the ball, and you eliminate the double team. So having him not one-on-one, especially in the red zone, confusing. I mean, just frustrating.
And there were a few times.
I think they were worried about
the time that sticks out the most is obviously the end of the game, the Cameron Bray touchdown.
Right.
But there were a few times that they stuck Landon Collins in man-to-man coverage. And Landon Collins, don't get me wrong, he's a great defender, and he makes plays on opposing teams' wide receivers. But where he's most successful, even in that skill set, is when he's roving around the field and improvising. He's not the best in man-to-man coverage. And they have this idea where they want to put him at the nickel corner and play Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie at safety. To me, that's too cute. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie is your corner, and Collins is your safety. And that's what they are. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. It's not necessary.
Yeah, they had a good thing. And it's like they're tinkering just a little too much. And maybe they just go back to simplifying some stuff this week. I mean, this game, guys, this is huge. I mean, here's your you can't just keep losing games and think that you're going to be able to compete come November and December. You can't. And, the division is not perfect. And you have all 3 of these teams lined up late in the season. This game, these next 4 games are huge. You need 3 out of 4 without a doubt. You cannot get to the midway point, okay, and be any less than 3-5. Can't.
You know what? Like I said in the video, man, just for my own sanity, I'm not even looking forward at this point. I'm looking at one game at a time, to use everybody else's little cliche answer. I just want a W. And then we'll look on to the next one. Let's get to the Chargers. Hopefully offensive line doesn't get dominated by Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa. and that's gonna be an issue. And I really think I have a feeling Hunter Henry is gonna rip us up.
And I got news for all these Giant fans that think that I saw some people today going like pretty much a foregone conclusion that this is a win, and basically saying this team has to travel. It's 1:00 on a Sunday, and it's the Chargers, and Melvin Gordon's banged up, and blah 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 blah. And let me tell you something. This team plays games just like the Giants do. This team could be 2-2. They could be 3-1. Okay, if certain things went their way. This is not a team that is going to come in and lay down. Phillip Rivers is going to look to be slinging the ball around. This is going to be a game that comes down to the fourth quarter, guys. This is not going to be a gimme. It's going to be a heart attack, this game.
Let's see what the interview. Let's go on to the interview. All right. So James earlier in the day got to interview Dan Duggan, and we'll put it up now. And where the hell did I put it? Just flip it in. There it is. All right, ready? Here we go.
Hey, what's going on? It's Dan Duggan.
Hey, Dan. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Hey, we've been calling him the wrong name the whole time.
What's up?
I think we've been calling him the wrong name the whole time. Dan Duggan. All right, so here.
Is it Dan Duggan?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? It's Dan Duggan.
Hey, Dan. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I lost my voice during the Yankee game last night, so you gotta deal with me a little bit here. I'm gonna just go into a quick intro for you, and then get into a couple of questions. Let you get onto your day, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, sorry about last night. I do a lot of these, and I couldn't remember if I was supposed to call you. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I'm probably supposed to call that night.
It's all right, man. We know you're busy. No big deal. It is what it is. So we appreciate you taking the time out today. So here we go. Excuse me. Bleedbigblue Nation, welcome back. Another episode of Jimmy Out on the Streets. We got beat writer from NewJersey.com, Dan Duggan, here with us. Dan, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem.
And I apologize for my voice again. The Yankee game last night, big win. Let's get to some business here. I'm actually glad that we didn't link up last night and we got a chance to speak today. I saw something this morning on Bleacher Report. Mike Freeman actually wrote an article in reference to the Giants, how he reached out to several players and coaches, and he didn't get a response from anybody and how things are going in the locker room and with the team. He said that these type of things, the silence is usually a bad signal. You're there, you're with the team on a daily basis. What is the morale like at 0-4? Take us inside the locker room, if you would.
I saw that, and obviously Mike would have to speak to that. I mean, what the relationships he has with the players and what he said when he reached out and how long it's been. Because, I mean, I don't know. It seems like it could be leaping to conclusions. I mean,
okay.
I think it's logical to think that there might be a little bit of strife. There better be some strife in an 0-4 locker room. But, again, without guys responding, saying, things are going crazy in here to kind of jump to that conclusion seems a little iffy to me. But I'm sure there is stuff behind the scenes. As far as what they've shown to us, it's kind of been surprisingly kumbaya in there, to be honest. You would think there'd be a little bit more finger pointing or, you haven't really heard of anybody going in there and, flipping over, a water table at halftime or anything like that. It seems like, guys are still sticking together. I mean, that's obviously what you want. But at the same time, human nature, you're 0-4, you have these big expectations. Guys aren't going to be happy with their roles. They're not going to be happy with the losing. They're not going to be happy with a lot of things. And obviously losing brings all those feelings up more. So I would not be surprised if things aren't all hunky-dory. But nothing I've really seen or heard indicates that, I think he used the word chaos. I mean, I haven't really seen anything that would line up with that. But, hey, we'll be in there this afternoon, and certainly we'll poke around and see, if anything's changed or if things are kind of bubbling. But I haven't seen anything that indicates, that the locker room is off the rails or anything like that.
Well, that's good news because, at 0-4, you would think there would be a lot of tension, a lot of finger pointing. especially with some of the comments, maybe McAdoo not being surprised about where they are. I thought there would be a little reaction to that, but it's good to know that so far things are status quo. At 0-4, I know Eli came out yesterday and said, this team is pretty much focused. They think they still have a shot. We've seen in today's NFL teams get hot. We know that the division, you still get everybody again. Is it realistic for this team? I know that you wrote today about Marshall looking at some of the young players. Is it realistic right now for them to be thinking, hey, we got a shot to get back in this thing? Or is it more realistic for maybe the front office to maybe lean where you're going as to say, is it time to look at some of these younger guys? At what point do they get there?
Yeah, I think from the outside, I think we're at that point. But inside, these guys aren't ready to pack it in, even though it is 0-4, and only one team has ever come back and made the playoffs from 0-4. But there is still a lot of football left, and they do have talent, and they definitely feel like they probably should have won these last two games. That would obviously change the outlook, quite a bit. So if I'm in their shoes, I'm not thinking, oh man, like we can just pack it in on this year, because you string together a couple of wins, like you said, you still have a couple of division games, 4 division games left, so they can certainly make up some ground. They've just dug a really deep hole. So my thing on Marshall was more that he's not a part of the the long-term solution. He signed a 2-year deal. They can easily rip that up after this year, and he's not playing well. So if you're not helping us now and you're not part of the future, I'm not saying bench the guy. I'm not saying cut the guy. I'm just saying he's playing 87% of the snaps or something like that right now. Cut that back to 60 or 70 and just let Roger Lewis get a few more snaps or bring back a Tavares King. I don't know. It's not like those are going to be some magic bullets that, get this offense, firing on all cylinders. I just don't think you need to play a 33-year-old guy who's on a short-term contract a ton of snaps when he's not playing well and the team's losing. It just seems like you might as well at least give some other guys a shot, some younger guys a shot who either could help you this year or much more likely to help you down the road. Yeah, definitely agree with you there. Looking at some of the injuries that occurred, they got pretty banged up last week. I know I saw Richburg is in concussion protocol. What's it look like injury-wise as of right now going into next week with San Diego? Yeah, no, it's one of these things where it's like chicken and the egg. They stayed pretty healthy last year and they won a lot of games, and now they're losing games and they're banged up. So I don't know which one comes first, but it's a pretty decent injury list this week because you have Rich. We just got we all were practice for a few minutes today, and Richburg's not out there, like you said. He's in the concussion protocol, and the fact that they promoted John Halapio from the practice squad, that's a pretty good indication they don't expect Richburg to be ready, because that would mean Brett Jones steps in at starting center, and you need Halapio on the active roster on game day as the backup center. That's what I was thinking. But they could have waited till later in the week if things were kind of touch and go with Richburg. So I don't know. Concussions are always tough to project, but that's just my assumption that it must be fairly significant for them to have made that move today when they really didn't need to. JPP was a surprise absence. He showed up in the injury report with knee and shoulder injuries, and he wasn't even out there. So that's obviously a concern, and we'll have to find out more later this afternoon. And then guys like Odell with the finger in the ankle, Janoris Jenkins with the ankle, Olivier Vernon with an ankle. A lot of ankle injuries. How about Snacks? Is Snacks going to? That's the main one that I was worried about. Is that? No, he's not even on the injury report. Okay, good. So that's some good news. Yeah, the other 3 guys I said, I'm assuming they'll all be on as either limited or not participating. They were on the field, but they didn't do a lot. But Snacks, he seemed like he's good to go. Obviously he was scary, but he said it was just a bruise. So obviously that's not something that's going to keep a guy like him out. But even better sign, he's not even on the injury report, so he should be totally ready to go for Sunday. Yeah, and that's a good sign, because one thing we didn't expect coming into this season was we thought a lot of question marks on offense. We thought the defense was a given, and so far it's been tragic almost to a point on any given Sunday. Do you think that the Giants, if they could look back, and you can go back in time, do you think they would have handled the Hankins situation a little differently? Is it a surprise how much maybe he meant in reference to stopping the run, or do you think that maybe it's something else that's missing, not really the loss of Hankins? Yeah, it's a fair question, and obviously when you look at not much change except for the loss of Hankins, so it's easy to say, well, that must be the difference. I'm not sure that that's the case. I've never been the biggest Jonathan Hankins guy. I think he's a very solid player, but I don't think the drop-off from him to Dalvin Tomlinson is so significant and to take you from one of the best rushing defenses to one of the worst, overnight. So I think there's a lot of factors. I can't say I can put my finger on all of them. It just seems like teams are attacking them well, getting outside, so they're running away from Snacks, and linebackers can't get off blocks for the most part, and a ton of missed tackles in the secondary, especially Darian Thompson. So there's a lot of factors, and as far as how they handled Hankins, I mean, I don't know what more they could have done. I mean, there was a report they were going to give him 3 years, $24 million. Even to me, that's too much money. I wouldn't have paid him that much. So if he's not going to take that, I mean, how much are they going to give him? You know, obviously at some point, if someone's willing to pay him what he got, which is $10 million a year from the Colts, I think you bid him adieu and you draft Allen Tomlinson in the second round. Like I said, I don't think the drop off from Hankins and Tomlinson can explain, how far the actual run defense has dropped off.
Yeah, it's like a riddle trapped in an enigma. I can't put my finger on what's going on with this defense. Yeah, and that's why I even brought up Hankins, because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, when the run defense was so good last year, what's missing? So that's what prompted the question. Last thing before we let you go, and definitely again appreciate you taking the time.
Yep.
How hot is the seat for Jerry Reese? I mean, it has to be in fuego at this point. I mean, is there anything that you guys could pick up? To me, it seems like he was very thick coming into this season at the tackle spot. We said on our show that he better be right. That we appreciated that he went to his guys and they put in the work, but you better be right. And so far, he's been wrong. What's it like? Is he burning up right now? And is he tied? And one more thing, I'm sorry. Is he tied to McAdoo? Are they tied to each other where if this goes bad, it's a complete cleaning the house?
Yeah, that's a lot of good questions, and it's a little early. We don't know the answers to those. I mean, the Giants, historically are pretty loyal. I think a lot of people were pretty surprised that Jerry was able to survive when they, pushed Coughlin out the door. You would think last year would have bought him a little bit of time, but then, like you said, the fact that everyone knew the offensive line was a big weakness, you didn't address it, and it's remained a big weakness. That certainly doesn't bode well for him. The question you have to have, too, though, is how much is Mara involved in some of these football decisions? If he signed off on, hey, Jerry, don't worry, we don't want to spend a lot of money on an O-line, a free agent this offseason, then can you blame Jerry for not going on and doing it? If you're
Valid point. Great point.
That's the question we don't really know the answer to, because obviously everything's going to cross across the owner's desk at the end of the day. It doesn't mean that, hey, the owner's not going to get fired. So if the team goes 2-14, all bets are off. But I think they're going to rebound enough that fans probably don't want this. Some fans probably are rooting for the bottom to fall out so they could clean house. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that. It might not matter, obviously, for the playoffs and for the standings, but 7-9 looks a lot different than 3-13 at the end of the day. If they rebound and have a good second half of the year, you say, hey, we're not that far away. We tinker a little bit this offseason, and then maybe you're on notice for next year. But and McAdoo, the same deal. I mean, he went 11-5 and got the team back to the playoffs in his first year. Now, we can debate how much of that was Spags' defense, and clearly McAdoo's offense has not been good since he's taken over as head coach. But 11-5 is 11-5, so I don't think you can fire the guy in the second year again if they get to 7-9 or something like that, just for missing the playoffs in year two. But like I say, all bets are off. If they go 2-14 or 3-13, if it's the worst case scenario, then nobody should feel safe, because that would be unacceptable with the roster they have.
Understand. One more thing. What's your feel? You think they get their first win this Sunday?
Whew, they better. I mean, they're going to get a better chance. I mean, you got an 0-14 coming from the West Coast, 1 p.m. kickoff. I mean, you're obviously as desperate as you possibly can be. I mean, because they can still put up the talk about, hey, we can turn it around. You get to 0-5 with coming off a loss to another 0-14. You just pack it in at that point. So, I mean, listen, I don't think it's going to be a resounding win just because of the way the Chargers and the Giants, they both play the same kind of games, ugly games, come down to the wire. My half-joking prediction is the game will end on a missed field goal, just based on the way these two teams have played. So you maybe hope your guy isn't the one taking the kick at the end of the game, because both these teams seem a little star-crossed this year. But I got to think that, again, I just can't, hide the fact or forget the fact that they have talent. I mean, they should be able to win a game like this. I mean, I know it hasn't gone well so far this year, but I think they find a way to at least, get one win, and then it gets, right back to at Denver next Sunday night. So it's not going to be easy going forward, but I think this is the one that they will get.
Well, hopefully the big blue stars are aligned for our first win of the season. Again, we appreciate your time, and look forward to speaking to you again. Thank you, man.
Yeah, so good luck getting your voice back for game one.
A lot of tea today, a lot of tea getting ready for tomorrow night. Take care, buddy.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Good job, Jimmy on the streets.
There we go.
Episode of Jimmy on the streets. Thank you. Yeah, he said a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, obviously we should have done the interview before the Yankees game happened.
Oh, my Yankees. Oh, my baby Bombers. My baby Bombers. Oh,
I'm rooting for Cleveland.
I know you are. It's okay. Cleveland should win. I just like to see. I'm glad that my young baby Bombers are getting experience. Put it that way. It'd be nice to see them in a series as opposed to one game. So.
Yeah,
playing with
kind of
dealers' money,
Minnesota.
Tim.
Huh?
Playing with the dealers' money.
Yeah.
All right, anyone, we are still here. We are still live. It's all pre-recording. If you want to call in, it's 516-453-9383. Talk about anything you want to talk about. Thank you for the applause emoticon going on. See what's going on. You guys saying in the comments. Eli will play the rest of his career in Jacksonville, Coughlin. James Michael. James.
Wow. Wait, did that guy just say that we should trade Eli to Jacksonville?
Somebody dropping the bomb?
Yeah.
That is a bomb. I
like that.
If I was playing Madden, I would do it. But I don't. It's not going to happen.
I like that.
Just like Dan said.
Tom.
Giants are loyal.
Tom.
Giants are loyal.
Tommy. Ring a ding ding, Tom.
Yeah.
I don't think
Jacksonville probably wants
he didn't say
Jacksonville.
He didn't say how
anyway.
Eli gets there. He just says he's there. Do we cut him? Is this a trade?
What would they give us for Eli?
Coughlin will give you a couple of draft picks for Eli.
No.
What are we gonna get? We gonna get a first round pick for Eli?
No way.
No, you're not. I take a second and a fourth.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I'm not even guys. Here's the thing.
I don't think you can get that either.
I think you could. I think you could, especially if you're talking about Coughlin. I think you can get a second and a fourth. But regardless of what the price is, to me, here's what you're really adding: is you're adding the salary. So you're getting rid of his salary, and you're adding now all this money that you can put towards other pieces on the roster that you've been forced to neglect. And it's not just the Giants. Like, look all over the league. Every team with a high-priced quarterback is getting killed. Russell Wilson getting killed. Matt Stafford runs for his life. Aaron Rodgers runs for his life. All these teams.
Fine, I'll hit it again.
Who's not a high-priced quarterback?
What?
They all high-priced quarterbacks.
What'd you say, Tim?
I said, who's not a high-priced quarterback?
What do you mean, who's not a high-priced quarterback? What do you mean?
Who's not getting paid at least, I would say, at least
kids,
between $15 and $20 million?
Kids on a rookie contract?
And we're rookies we talk about. Jared Goff?
Pick one. Pick any of the young kids that are in the league.
I never said that.
My point is,
I'm not saying it works.
What are these young kids doing? What are the young kids doing right now?
Deshaun Watson's playing balls to the wall. Dak Prescott's playing pretty fucking good. Wentz is playing pretty fucking good. Goff is playing pretty good. I mean,
how about
John Watson? Had a free offensive line in front of him. Dak already had that. Dak walked into the door.
Oh, so you're saying that they could pay their offensive line because they don't have to pay their quarterback $20 million. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
I'll just slip it in.
Wasn't Tony Romo there literally a season ago? What was he getting paid? And they still had a good offensive line.
Because they drafted the offensive line. They wouldn't have been able to re-sign the offensive line.
Well, yeah. No, they were
That's
already
the
signed.
thing. No, listen, Tim. The Cowboys are going to have a real problem when they have to pay Dak and Zeke at the same time. They're going to have to make a choice because they're not going to be able to.
It's not going to be.
They're
Zeke.
not going to be able to keep. No, they'll keep Dak and Zeke. They'll keep them both. But what I'm saying to you is, they're going to have
to
plan
sacrifice
ahead of
your
time,
roster,
and they're not going to be able to pay their offensive linemen the way that their offensive linemen deserve to be paid, because they're going to need that money for the skill positions.
Yep.
They're going to show their hand.
That's my point.
Well,
that's my
if you
point.
want me to find the money for Dallas, you cut Des Bryant.
What can you do? What can you do with? Think of it this way. Now, I'm not saying it works. Okay, this is worst case scenario. We shit the bed. It's the beginning of December, and we have no shot, none. It's all.
We're 0-12.
We have 3 wins, right?
0-12.
Do you look 3-9? Let's say that. Let's say 3-9. We shit the bed. 3-9. Okay.
Okay.
For the last 4 games of the season, you're telling me it's not in the best interest of the franchise to say, you know what, Davis Webb, you're the quarterback for the next month.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jimmy. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. There's 2 points that I would make. There's 2 points that I would make that make me think that the Giants will not see it the way that we see it. One,
there's no way they would. No way they would. It's a fucking dream.
One, they're incredibly loyal.
To a fault.
Eli will be starting until he's either injured or chooses not to start. And 2...
See, I have a huge fucking problem with that.
I do too.
I mean, Joe Montana was cut. Joe Montana did not finish his career in San Francisco. Peyton Manning did not finish his career in fucking Indianapolis. I mean, it's
are you comparing
Giants
Davis
fans
Webb
that are like,
Young?
oh my God, we can't let Eli leave. He has to finish his career as a Giant. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Sorry.
The second
are you comparing Davis Webb to Steve Young? Because that's why
no.
That's
no, and I'm not even saying you get rid of Eli, but I'm saying that you don't know what you have in Davis Webb until you see him compete on Sunday afternoons, and in December in Giant Stadium, maybe a good chance to look at your 3rd-round pick for a fucking month, especially playing some division opponents that are probably playing for something, so that you can see if maybe at the end of the year you have a decision to make. And the decision you make after a month may be, this kid sucks. Thank God we still have Eli on our roster. But you don't know unless you see him.
I understand where you're coming, and I sort of agree with it. The only problem being, this offensive line, I don't know if Davis Webb would come in, and I don't want him to get shell-shocked.
Problem. It's not our fucking problem. They're playing these kids now. They're playing these kids right away now. The game is different. It's not like it was even when Eli first came into the league and we brought in Kurt Warner to baby him for 6 games. Now these teams are saying because of the salary cap, no. If we invest a draft pick in this kid has to play now. Look what the Rams did. We drafted this kid at 1. We blow. He looks awful. Jeff Fisher, get the fuck out. McVay, get in. This kid looks amazing now because he can work with the young quarterback. If this is McAdoo's guy and you're not going to fire McAdoo, what can you do with the money in Eli's contract to make the fucking team better while you have Davis Webb on a rookie contract, and while you have the defensive line still under contract with this year out the window for another 2 seasons. So, to me, and it'll never happen. I mean, it's never, ever, ever going to happen. They're never going to say, Eli, get to the fucking bench. We want to look at Davis Webb. But to me, it's stupid not to. And you're doing so at the cost of the franchise if you're in December and you blow. You have 3 wins, 4 wins. Where you going?
And the other reason that won't happen, James, I take a look at Ben McAdoo's press conference from this past weekend after the game. And let me just say here that the only person in America that gives a worse press conference than Ben McAdoo is our president, Donald J. Trump.
No, I would say Trump gives a hands down a better one because at least he's fucking entertaining. I want to smash the television or crash my car when I'm listening to McAdoo talk. He's really becoming like fucking Ray Hanley for me.
After the game Sunday,
wow. Yeah, he's quickly becoming Ray Hanley.
They asked McAdoo about Goldman and why he was active on the roster, and do you know what his answer was? Did anybody catch that?
No, go ahead.
His answer was because he was the only one that was healthy.
Oh, I did see that.
So Wayne Gallman, who, now, I'll grant you, I mean, he didn't look like Gale Sayers out there, but he had the best game that a Giants running back has had this season, no question.
Maybe in a season and a half, maybe in a season and 4 games.
The only reason that he was even on the active roster was because he was healthy.
Yep.
So, and to me, like that's unacceptable. It's your job as the head coach to be able to decipher talent and to think, hey, this kid Wayne Gallman, he might give us a shot in the arm. He might have a skill set that's a little bit different from Paul Perkins. And he might be able to give us a little something.
Look what's going on the offensive line. All of a sudden, the running game looks a little better. Who did they insert on the offensive line?
Fluker.
Yep. We've been screaming about it. Well, you sign this fucking guy. He's not perfect. He's going to hold every now and again. He's going to have an offsides every now and again. He may have, but you know what? He may have a personal foul every now and again. You want to know why he has a personal foul? Because he will rip someone's head off their neck. And that is the mentality that you need. And he is pissed. Let me tell you something. They may run for 200 yards, but I'd run behind Fluker every fucking play this game. Do you see he's all fired up to play San Diego? L.A.? I keep calling them San Diego. San Diego. Means a whale's vagina.
The other great thing about Gallman, he caught a pass.
Touchdown pass.
When's the last time we had a running back not named Shane Green that even caught a pass?
Tiki Barber. No, I'm kidding.
Factually accurate information.
I just want to state for the record, I'm off the percolator train. I don't want anything to do with the percolator.
Yeah, he is fucking disappointing, huh? Jesus.
Yeah. You knew you were going to start all damn off season, and what the hell happened?
Wow. Yeah, disappointing.
He doesn't know how to hit
disappointing.
The hole.
Yep.
That's what she said.
Disappointing. He dances a lot. There's no.
At this point, I'd cut the whole damn running back core other than Gallman.
I would sell my soul to the devil to ensure that the Giants get Barkley.
That would be pretty awesome. If we had Barkley
I would literally spend all of eternity burning in hell away from my family and friends if we can get our hands on Barkley. I would sign up for that.
That's not true.
As long as I could take my dog. If I could take my dog, then I'd go.
That's not true.
James, let's be honest though. Weren't you going there anyway?
No, definitely. I'm an asshole. I'm not a fucking murderer or anything.
Oh my God!
I'm not like one of those, I don't know, Catholic priests.
I never said that.
No, that was me. You can totally put that one on me.
I'll just slip it in.
No, Father. No, Father. No, thank you.
I'll just slip it in.
Come on. They told me just being an altar boy was about loving Jesus. You don't have to do that,
Why
Father.
are you yelling?
Because I'm hoping somebody will hear me. This is awkward.
Oh, my God! I never said that.
Hey, fellas.
I'll just slip it in.
This show just took a turn.
At least we have the Yankees.
Oh. Tomorrow night.
How great.
The little engine that could. Let's go. Underdog Yankees.
How great was Judge's homer last night?
Oh.
Like,
let me tell you something. This is when I say that I lost my voice during the Yankee game, it really wasn't the whole Yankee game. What happened was all day I was just pacing at work. I could not wait to get home to watch the game. I was so nervous and anxious and fired up. I just wanted to watch the game. So I get to the game. I'm fucking pacing around. I got my pinstripe jersey on. I didn't even sit down when I came home from work. I just got changed, and I'm pacing in front of the television, and I'm fucking waiting. And all that energy, all that built up, and then boom, down 3-0. And it was like somebody kicked me right in the fucking chest. Like all the air went out of me. When Didi hit the 3-run homer in the first inning, I lost my voice. That was it. All I did the rest of the game was clap because I lost my voice when Didi tied the game up at 3. I woke up. If anyone was sleeping, dogs were barking, alarms went off. I went ape shit crazy.
This guy James on Facebook said,
what?
I can't say. McIntyre like.
I can't hear.
I need a timeout.
Put me on mute.
I'll tell you what. McAdoo could learn a thing from Girardi about in-game adjustments.
Tell me about it.
How bad is Ben at adjustments? I mean, seriously. Most of these
Horrific.
coaches, okay, at halftime, you know what, I'll make adjustments, see what they're doing. Ben takes 2 games to figure it out.
No.
And
they're not taking the points. They're not taking the points. Is what kills me.
It's because all the hair gel, it seeps into his brain.
Wasn't he supposed to be an offensive genius, guys?
He was until he became the head coach. I mean, they were averaging 26 points a game when all he had to worry about was the offense.
Right.
What is Mike Sullivan's job? Is he literally just have the title for no reason and he literally just sits there?
No,
yeah, that's
he
it.
puts
That's all he does.
No. He puts the laminate.
He puts the lime in the coconut.
He puts the laminate on the cheese playbook.
Yeah.
He laminates the play sheets.
Yeah.
And
he also puts the Post-it notes on it.
Yes.
Like Ben walks into the room and
he brings Ben
"Where's my
hair gel at
coffee,
halftime.
Mike?"
He's in charge of the after game meal. He's in charge of what to eat after the game. He's in charge of catering.
Well, you know, it's genius because, you know, what, the offense looks like shit, but he's, you know, Ben could be like, I'm not the offensive coordinator.
Wasn't me.
I just call the plays.
Yeah. You know, Mike's going to get fired after this season. For being,
I call the plays, but they're not my plays. They're his plays. He's the offensive coordinator.
No, first of all, you think he calls the plays? He doesn't call the plays. He's literally just standing there during the game.
They are so frustrating,
all we run
guys.
Is plants.
They are
I
so
was thinking
frustrating.
about that the other day. Remember when Coughlin was the coach, and we used to throw the ball 15, 20 yards down the field?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how glorious that was?
Glorious.
Now,
well, we actually had offensive line to block for that though.
No pass.
Well, they had a couple of long plays
pass.
though, guys.
Seldomly, the ball goes past the first down marker. Whether it's first and 10 or third and 1. And the only way we get big plays is if a wide receiver gets a bunch of yak.
Yak. And now, the yak.
I tell you what.
Okay.
I was hard on Tom Coughlin on his way out.
Oh, Marcus got something.
What did you say?
I was hard on Tom Coughlin on his way out. But I just want to say, Tom, if you're listening, please call in. Give him the number, Marco.
564-539-383.
Tom,
I
just want to say I apologize to you, and I miss you and I love you.
So yesterday I asked, the question was, what do we do? Should keep going the way it goes. Fire McAdoo, fire Reese, fire both Reese, save the course. And did you guys see it? What do you think the results are? What do you think both people said?
Marco, you're breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking up bad, dude.
Am I? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I thought it was my connection or something like that, but it's you.
I think the options are if
you're good now.
All right. So the options were fire McAdoo.
There you go.
Fire Reese. Fire both McAdoo and Reese. Or stay the course. What do you think people said?
Fire McAdoo.
I hope they fire McAdoo. I'd fire both.
Yeah, like if it goes bad. If it goes bad.
Wait. Hold on. Let's ask the question. Let's preface it by saying this. What's the record at the end of the season?
What's the bad? Yeah, what's our record at the end of the year?
And the way we're looking, maybe 4 wins.
Fire them both. Everybody
so if we're
4-12,
fire them both.
Gone.
Oh yeah, clear everybody. Yeah, clear everybody at that point.
I don't want you guys around my fucking top 5 draft pick ever. Go away.
Yep.
Because I'm not really worried about the top 5 draft pick. What I'm worried about is the fucking second round, third round, fourth round, those picks at the high end of those rounds. You striking out on those rounds like you have, and that would put us in a god fucking awful situation. So no. I say no. No more.
No.
You shall not pass.
And at that point, if we get a top 5 pick, I kind of want Saquon Barkley.
Absolutely.
Or I'll take the offensive lineman.
No, I take the running back.
Give me Barkley. Give me Barkley, and then I'll get an offensive lineman later.
Barkley is a once in a
give me that kid. I'll take him.
Well, not generation. He's a rare talent.
Yes, I'll take that kid. Give me him. Yes, please.
That's for me.
You know, maybe we could actually get back to giant football. You remember when we used to ground and pound guys?
Exactly.
You know, that's what all the giant fans grew up with.
I look at Leonard Fournette, dude. I look at Leonard Fournette, and I'm so jealous.
Yeah, he would have been the greatest giant running back, man.
I look at Kareem Hunt. And I'm
Kareem
so
Hunt
jealous.
Man.
Yep.
Kareem Hunt is a man.
Do you realize we could have got Kareem Hunt?
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt, you could have got Kareem Hunt. He was taken in the third round?
Yep, third round.
What pick was he taken? And where was Webb taken?
I think Kansas City traded up in the third round to get him.
Yeah, but where? Did they trade up in front of us, or did they trade up after we took Webb?
Yeah, they would have been. I think it was in front of us. I'm almost positive.
Hold on. Let's confirm that. Somebody, we could Google that.
Listen, you know what?
I want to know. Now I want to know.
Just Google it.
Because you're talking about the same guy that took Flowers, reached for Flowers right before who?
Todd Gurley.
There you go. Bingo, bango.
Someone's paying attention.
There you go.
All right, let's Google it.
And while we're on the subject, I was going to say this before. Do any current Giants front office member or any future Giants front office member, if you do not take Saquon Barkley after passing on Todd Gurley, Jimmy on the street will come find you.
Oh my God! So annoying.
He has a special set of skills.
I do.
I
will find you.
I think we should put our applications in, guys.
Kareem Hunt was picked.
Let me just say this. I really don't have a special set of skills at all. However, these guys I know, Giuseppe and Nunzio, they have a bunch of skills. So they have much more skills than I do. I don't even have to leave my house. It's a beautiful thing.
What about Sergio?
Oh, you don't want to know about Sergio. I don't even bring him up. I'm a little annoyed that you even brought him up. I got to be honest with you. I don't like when people know about Sergio. You may be getting a visit from. Don't answer your fucking door, Giuseppe. Go. Justin broke the code. Go.
So give us the Kareem Hunt draft pick, Marco.
Yeah, what's Kareem Hunt?
Oh, did we get that?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second. I'm just confirming.
Oh, bingo. I like that. A little confirmation.
It was back to back. The Chiefs took Kareem Hunt, third round, 86th pick overall, and the Giants took Davis Webb, 87th pick overall in the third round.
Oh, shit.
Wait, where'd they go? So Giants got Webb at 87. Where did Hunt go?
86.
Wow.
No way.
Right before, yeah.
We could have had Kareem.
Because they took the pick from the Vikings and the Dolphins.
You motherfuckers. Not that they would have taken him. You would have taken Webb anyway. They would have never taken Hunt.
You know what it tells me, though? I think they were worried about Giants taking him if they traded in front of him. I'm just saying. Trying to give Jerry Reese some credit.
Yeah, and then in the next round, they took Goldman, so maybe they were looking at bags.
Yeah, could be.
I like where this story's going. We're breaking a story here.
Breaking a story. Jerry Reese did want Kareem Hunt.
Jerry Reese salivated over Kareem Hunt. Nobody knew it.
Guys, we should totally break that story on the interwebs.
Dumb on Flower. Dumb on Gurley. Stumped on Hunt.
This just in.
Dumb on Gurley. Foiled on Hunt. The firing of Jerry Reese.
I was going to take Hunt.
You know what, guys? I'm a Jerry Reese guy. I like.
Yeah, that figures.
Let me say this. I gotta say something. I think that here's what I think the Giants really. I think that these teams with the fucking, unless your quarterback is Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. I think that when you have one of these offenses where you use multiple running backs, it just doesn't work. You need a guy, in my humble opinion. You need to, and they're far and in between now. They're not a dime a dozen. But you need to find a guy that you commit to that you're going to give him the ball 15 to 20 times a game between the tackles so that the other team has to respect him and the run. And if you don't have that guy and you're just mixing guys in, and nobody's getting it's a struggle unless your quarterback can make up for that deficiency.
I agree. And honestly, I think it hurts Eli because Eli's one of the best play-action quarterbacks out there.
100%.
100%. And you take that away from him.
Well, yeah, and he's not a mobile guy. So anything you can do, like you can't, like you don't want to really, you can roll him out every now and again, but you're not going to do anything too mobile with Eli. So having play action is huge for him. Plus, if you look at his numbers throughout his career, he kills it on play action. So the fact that you haven't committed to getting him a running game, to me, is a huge detriment. Like, to me, like the teams I grew up with, and please don't take this the wrong way, guys that are listening and Giant fans. I'm a fan of Odell Beckham Jr. But most teams, you don't need a fucking huge wide receiver or a diva wide receiver to win. It's nice for numbers and big plays and shit like that. But guess what? I grew up with teams that won Super Bowls with Mark Ingram and Stephen Baker, Lionel Manuel, Phil McConkey,
Odessa Turner.
I mean, teams that won with not you didn't need that. You didn't need huge wide, and I don't think you need it today. I think if your team is physical and you have good wide receivers, competent ones that can catch the ball, good possession receivers, maybe a couple that can stretch the field, I don't think that you need – give me a good offensive line and a fucking beast running back with Eli Manning before you give me shit on an offensive line, no running backs, just a plethora of fucking retards, and then super-duper wide receivers on the outside that he can't get the ball to.
I do miss the ground and pound. You know who? I like the way Kansas City is running their team.
It's the threat of it.
It's exactly. It's a threat of the running game. You imagine if it had a threat at running back, and how much that would open it up for Odell. One play action, Eli could bomb it to Odell probably 2-3 times a game.
Is it the way Kansas City is putting their team together, or is this just like the mastery of like Andy Reid?
I think it's Andy Reid.
It's Andy Reid. I'm a huge fan of Andy Reid, but they're physical. Just like James said, they're physical. They have the run game. They pass just to keep you honest for the most part, or they're taking advantage of you putting everybody in the box with a guy going over the top like Tyreek Hill.
You have to respect the running game. Look at the wide receivers that the Rams have.
Yep.
I mean, no world beaters. No world beaters.
Rams
at
literally have the Bills wide receiver core from last year.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Sammy Watkins.
And Robert Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Woods. Cooper Kupp. Right?
Yep.
I mean, but Gurley, the threat of the run game opens things up for all those other guys. So what would you rather have? I mean, and I'm not, and again, I love Odell. You drafted him. He's our guy. That's great, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, is it the right way to build your team?
Eli was amazing when we had Ahmad Bradshaw, Brandon Jacob.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you drafted Nick, so he was on a rookie contract. And you drafted Manningham, so he was on a rookie contract. and Cruz came out of nowhere, so he was cheap. All of your weapons were cheap.
Yep.
When they won that Super Bowl in 2011. All of those weapons were cheap.
And we had a brick house of offensive linemen.
Yes.
Yes.
And if they weren't a brick house, they were smart as fuck and played well together.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there were fewer.
And remember that year. Remember that year that we were last in the league in rushing. I mean, go back to 2011. They were last in the league in rushing. Their passing game got them to the playoffs, and then they got competent and were able to run the ball. But for some reason, that year they were horrible at running the ball. Horrible. In 2007, I mean, they got hot at the right time. That year, I mean, you go back to that year, that team was lucky they made the playoffs. That team is in Buffalo a couple of weeks. That team is in Buffalo a couple of weeks before the season ended, and they're losing right off the bat, and they got to fight to get back in it. Bradshaw breaks the run. I mean, but that wasn't a gimme season where you were like, oh, we're in.
All right. I agree.
But that
2-minute warning.
Having that running game, that Jacobs. What time is it?
It's getting late, my friend.
Yeah, bedtime for Bonzo. Wow. Are we going to win this weekend?
Let's start it up. Let's go with the predictions. Justin, go first.
Well, I'll be in Houston, away from my DirecTV, so I will be watching this game when I return to Pennsylvania.
You're not going to go to a bar? You're not going to go to a bar and watch the game?
On Wednesday.
I'm not even drink. Just watch the game? Go have some wings, watch the game? My in-laws situation is there's a lot of church going on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So church is like a 6-hour
all
event.
day.
I'll tell you what I'll do. You let me know if you're interested. I'm not going to put you on the spot. If you want my NFL Sunday ticket password for your app so you can watch while you're at church on your phone, that's up to you. I'll just put it out there. If you want my app, you just inbox me and I'll let you know.
I mean, I think you know the answer to that question, and my in-laws don't listen to this podcast, so I'm going to say yes.
There you go. Okay.
Justin
I'll send it to you, and you can log it. Just download the NFL.
I love how Justin snaps, so I hope you're in church if you start snapping.
Oh, absolutely.
Boom.
He's going to be there like Jesus, and everyone's like, he calls the Spirit.
He's such a nice boy. Jesus Christ.
Oh, my Lord.
I just start.
Jesus Christ, Elijah. Oh, praise Elijah.
Eli.
Eli. Elijah. You got. If you say Elijah, they won't even know. Just say, let's call him by his Bible name.
That's biblical.
Yeah.
It's biblical, but if you drop an F-bomb in front of it,
right?
It might not be.
So now that all this is going down, that makes me even more excited for a Giants win. I'm going to say Giants. I'm going to say the Giants really snap out offensively behind DJ Fluker and Wayne Gallman. I'm going to say Giants 31, Chargers 17.
Ooh. Wow. Go ahead, Tim.
All right. I'm going to do something that I don't want it to happen, but I think San Diego's winning.
Ugh.
You douchebag.
Hold on. You want to rewind that and try again?
You know what? I think Giants are going to win. No.
Let me ask you this, Tim. Let me ask you this question. If you had to make a choice between your fantasy team going 5-0 or the Giants going 1-4?
Ooh.
Well, at this point, the way they're looking, I'd rather have my fantasy team left.
Shame. Shame.
Oh, yeah.
Shame.
You know what? Giants aren't going to make the playoffs, and I'm still going to be king. So. Well, here's the deal. I think it's going to come down to a last-second field goal. Who's going to kick it from 50 yards out? And San Diego wins 27-24.
I don't. It gets so much worse, Tim, when you put it like that, because that means the Giants are going to get beat by the buzzer by a young ho, and that's just crushing.
Yeah.
I'm going with a win. I'm going blowout. I think when I spoke to Dan today, and he told me that there's a sense of calm in the locker room. This is a team that's been through a lot of adversity before. Team that's gone on hot streaks before. They know it's a marathon and not a sprint. And I think LA has a lot more problems than we have right now. I think they're walking into the wrong place at the wrong time. I think the Giants go off this weekend on offense and defense. I think the Giants win 34-7 Giants.
Wow. I hope to God you guys are right. I hope to God you guys are right. I just have a bad feeling.
In a straight drubbing of the
And I'm
Giants.
also I'm trying to reverse the fortunes. I've been picking Giants for
Don't make
the past 4
excuses.
weeks.
Don't make excuses. Marco, your turn. Don't make excuses.
Yeah.
You feel bad, don't you?
Fucking Benedict Arnold. Don't make excuses.
Right. I have
Sammy the Bull.
I have the Giants winning. I don't think it's going to be easy. I'm going to say 24-21, we get the win. It's going to be close, not last-minute field goal, a walk-off, anything like that. But it's going to be, deep in the fourth quarter, and it's iffy. San Diego is 0-4. They want to win, too. Phillip Rivers is no slouch. Joey Bosa looks good, and our offensive line looks like shit. And we're a little bit banged up right now. So it's not going to be a cake. It's not going to be a cakewalk, But I think we do get the win. And
nice.
We will be 1-4.
Head on to Denver. Yay.
That's so gross to say.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
everyone.
The Bills beat Denver. We can beat Denver.
One final question for you.
In Buffalo.
You guys. A few years ago, when we were 1-6, when did we get that one win?
When we were on 1-6.
We were 0-6.
Yeah, we were 0-6, weren't we?
We were 0-6.
Yeah.
Isn't that when Jim Fossil was like, "No, we're making playoffs"? The team's making
No.
playoffs.
No.
No.
This was recently.
It was with Coughlin.
Yeah. That's right. They were 0-6.
0-6, and we got to 9-6, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they finished
the year
7-9.
The year you're thinking of was with Fossil was 2000.
Good boy.
This team is going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right.
6-6.
They went to the NFC Championship.
We need that soundbite. We need that soundbite.
Please hit the like button, share this post. We will see you stay tuned in. We'll put out stuff throughout the week as well. Peace.